Is it still working? Hello, everybody, and Jess here, and welcome back to DANDADAN. DANDADAN Season 2, and what a momentous moment to have a bit of a comeback, I guess. I mean, haven't been recording for the past, 3 months, right? The whole previous season pretty much entirely skipped by me. Uh, I wanted to find some sort of an excuse, but I don't have any. Besides the fact that I was late with the seasonal stream, and because I was late with the seasonal stream, I just kinda wrote everything else off. I just have a thing like that where if the first step I stumble, I just go back home and don't go any further. So yeah, that's my excuse, I guess. But we are here with Dandadan, and I'm excited, especially with how season one ended with not really an ending, right? Not really something that would have concluded any sort of a story. We ended very much in medias res, if I'm not mistaken. Right? We were in the middle of the arc at Jean's family house, right? If I'm not mistaken. Ken, Momo, and Jean went to his house to exercise it. Momo went to some hot springs, I believe, where uh, she was assaulted by a bunch of locals, very creepy and weird locals that were creepy even before that, but became much creepier when going to the hot springs with her. And meanwhile, Ken and Jean worked out some, I don't want to say issues, but they both admitted, I'm in love with Miss Momo. And they just became bros over that, I guess. And they found a weird additional room at the house, right? They knocked at the wall, and it was, they did it either by sound. I know for sure that they did look at the outside of the house and noticed that there was like a segment of it with no windows. Meanwhile, on the inside, there were no doors leading into it, and they knocked a hole open in that wall, and that's basically where the season ended. Correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember from the ending of season one of Dandadan. And my throat, I guess, forgot how to do recording and streaming because it's hurting already. I haven't talked this much in a while. Um, oh, they're dusty. Oh, they're dusty. But yeah, again, Dandadan season two or second core. It's weird because technically it's Dandadan second season, but this is episode 13. So I guess I'm just gonna make a new playlist or shove it onto the old one, or maybe both. I don't know. I don't know what's the numbering gonna be. I'm gonna figure it out. Let's stay here in the moment and record this video. I don't know of any changes that might have happened to the staff or anything like it. I don't know if there have been any. I don't think so, far as I can tell. But of course, as always, if you're new to the channel, somehow starting with season 2 of Dandadan instead of starting with season 1, which you should, it's probably gonna be somewhere in the cards here in the corner, so you might wanna go check it out. Right now, it's the intro, then I'm gonna watch this episode, watch this show, and react live to what's happening. Then we're gonna go through the whole thing here in the corner, and I'm gonna be stopping by every now and then talking at length about some things that are worth talking at length about. Finally, I'm gonna give you my final opinions, and we're also gonna take a look, very brief look, at the AniList page for Dandadan Season 2 in case anything changed, like maybe another studio started helping them, or maybe some voice actors changes or some staff. I don't know. We're gonna check it all out. And also important thing, it's this button. Yeah, timer. We're gonna be watching it with a timer, so sync up your own copy so that YouTube copyright doesn't strike me. I'm using the version of DANDADAN from Subs Please, so if you want to have the same exact version, that's where you should head to get it. But with all of that being said, and without further ado, how about we just start watching it, shall we? To do that, I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on in the show. I'm gonna need my subs to fuck, how did my formula go? You're gonna need your subs to follow along. I'm gonna need my sound to hear what's going on, and I'm gonna need your support. Yeah. Patreon, YouTube, Discord, if you want. Damn, I really forgot that. So, with all that said, let's start watching, shall we? In 3, 2, 1, go. Hell yeah, everything's working still. MBS animation, that's new. Science Saru is not new. They made season 1. Never noticed that they have this sort of a rubber hose style animated logo though. Yeah, so we're basically starting right where we ended. Like, I guess a few seconds before we ended. No, I thought it's a fish somehow, but no. It's a piece of the snake statue. Yeah. Is it still hair? Or is there some interference from some third party? Telekinesis. Okay, no need for telekinesis. Perfectly through the doorframe. Classic. It is, isn't it? It's a shame there was a whole, like, oh, good luck cat, of course. To bring you good luck. Why else? Of course. For a moment, I thought that she recognized maybe some yokai in the area or something. No. No, she just wanted hot springs. Are they back to how they were? Who are you? Oh, Chamber of Commerce. Okay. Probably chasing them because they've been taking payments under the table from their touristy businesses. Hmm. Like a scene of murder? Z, plural? Yeah, a lot of amulets. That's usually not a good sign. We know how taking of an amulet ended in season 1 in episode 3, was it? Hmm. Ashen Grandmass. Ashen Grandpass and Ashen Grandmass. This is not. Um, Fuck. Who sang season 1 opening? How could I have forgotten? Creepy Nuts. Yeah, this is not Creepy Nuts. I expected Creepy Nuts, not gonna lie. Okay. I'm liking it though. I like that it still incorporates "dandadan" in the lyrics. It's a word that, correct me if I'm wrong, means absolutely nothing, but it's fun that it's a part of the lyrics. I like the animation in the OP, very trigger looking. Well, not very, but somewhat trigger looking at least. The stretchy bodies and very like rough angular shapes. Who the fuck are you lot? Family friends? Friends? Hmm. Landlady. Why do I get the feeling that every single one of them is either a yokai or a poorly disguised alien? Hmm. They don't like spirit mediums now, do they? Glowing eyes? Yep. They're ghosts. Like, there's absolutely no doubt about it. Or some form of an undead, or holy shit. No doubt. No, it probably wouldn't get her into trouble because the police is probably also in her pocket. Or his eyes are gonna glow yellow. Yep. Hmm. Of course. So it's some sort of a like a fucking yakuza situation or something like that, but they're all undead or something. Poster. Poster. Remember the poster, Ken. Is it? Apparently, yes. uh, yeah. It would be so fucking funny if it turns out that they're all just normal people. They're just an organized crime family, but other than that, there's absolutely nothing paranormal about them. It would be so fucking funny. Whomst. I recognize this voice. I think. Yeah, can't remember the name of the Seiyu, but it's the same Seiyu as Frankie from Spy Family, isn't it? Fuck is that? Well, there was a rainbow when the onsen got destroyed, and it was at least in part due to Momo's wrath. You know, I'm just saying. Oh, yeah. I mean, sure. I guess it makes sense. Also, interesting that so many characters in this village have a unibrow. Yeah. Uh, mm, kinda. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Of course. So it's some sort of a cult situation. Bunch of cultish villagers are dragging the whatchamacallit tourists to sacrifice them to their serpent deity. That was very black blood. A fan, really. Yeah, that's how you get them out of the fight. Telekinesis. Momo really can't catch a break. First Serpoyans, now some fucking ghost villagers. Of course. She came here to relax. Yeah, there's also her. She decided to forgo her gun, though. What? Oh, it's the wall. And the room. Okay, so nothing paranormal about her. Uh, yeah, can't disagree with that. In peace, yeah. Yeah, in peace. Sure. Is it a situation like that one quest from The Witcher 3 where the deity wasn't really a deity? And then it turns out that there really was no danger of the volcano ever erupting, but I don't know. Hmm? Serpent God? Oh. Yes, indeed, actually, Serpent God. Or whatever stands for a Serpent God here. Hmm. Ken? There we go. About time they woke up. He got some nice muscle definition on him, I noticed. Well, maybe not quite as much as Gigi, but, you know. he did become a little bit more muscular than when we started. He's been training. Green hands that you have. Okarun's super speed. There's plenty of ways for you to get out, really. But that would only be, saving yourselves and not solving the main issue here. That's a snake, isn't it? It looks like a big snake. It is a big snake. I guess we know whose powers Gigi is gonna have. Okay, that's not a snake. That's that's not how snakes look. My friend has a bunch of snakes, and that's not how they look. I don't think the snake cares about it. Okay, so not exactly a deity, just a yokai. Oh, yeah. I mean, looks similar, somewhat. It has been growing. I mean, wouldn't surprise me, really. It's gonna eat them? It's gonna eat them. Good, okay. One problem down. Now you just have to deal with the snake. And arguably, dealing with the snake is gonna be a little bit easier, I have a feeling, than with a bunch of crazy cultists. Huh? Oh, Mongolian throat singing. Yellow light. Huh? Is the Mongolian throat singing making them lose control of their powers or something? Yeah, seems to be the case. And since Gigi doesn't have any yet, he's unaffected. It's a different art style. I have a weakness for pencil skirts. Okay, I'm actually loving this animation. I guess the OP and the ED might be the second studio that appeared in the opening credits. Yeah, that's a great ending. Great music, amazing animation. It probably means something, but I don't know Japanese, so I wouldn't know. The evil eye. So Gigi gets the powers of the evil eye, isn't he? That's basically a given, honestly. Let's watch it again, shall we? Yes, we shall. Just as we always do. MBS Animation. I have a sneaking suspicion that MBS Animation is who made the OP and the ED, maybe, and Science Saru makes the show proper. I really wonder what's the deal with the villagers. They look very surreal through the virtue of having glowing yellow eyes and very ashen, undead looking skin. But maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Like, on one hand, it wouldn't surprise me if they were some sort of an undead or a yokai or something like that. They very much look different, inhuman, right? Not just because of their skin and their eyes, but also because of those weird proportions and the weird mouths and forever smiles, right? They really remind me of the Serpoyans. And the Serpoyans were paranormal, so my mind naturally goes in the direction of the villagers also being paranormal. On the second hand, though, if they weren't paranormal, if they were just regular people, but weird looking, it would be so fucking funny. So I don't know which one I'd prefer. But DANDADAN 2. If you're not familiar, this is my green notebook where I note down my theories about the shows that I watch. And by the end of this series, by the end of season at least, we always go through it and see which of my predictions, my theories were correct and which ones were not. So I'm gonna leave two predictions actually. Villagers are paranormal or normal. Either way, I win. One of those is going to be true. Uh, I really wonder. I really wonder. Yeah, there was that prediction that the old lady mentioned about the what am I call it, the rainbow and something, right? And we see a rainbow, right? So I wonder if that's that. Momo creating a rainbow by destroying the onsen means she's part of the not prediction. What's the name of it? Not oracle. I mean, I guess I'm just gonna say part of the oracle because that also works as a term for something that's been predicted. I think not just for the one making the prediction, but also for the prediction itself. I don't know. Maybe I think I'm gonna know what I mean after I read it back. Uh, yeah. I thought for a moment that maybe they went back to normal, right? That they're gonna get out of here and their eyes are gonna be no longer yellow because they were possessed by something and going through this bunch of shock just, undid that possession. And this is a bunch of people from the Chamber of Commerce. And they look very normal. Hmm. It's gotta be significant somehow. Probably not in any sort of paranormal sense where the Chamber of Commerce are really the guardians of the galaxy chasing evil or whatever. Absolutely not. But someone's cutting something with a chainsaw in the middle of a city. I hope the mic doesn't pick it up. Uh, I can't get out of the impression that what's going on here is somehow supernatural with a very natural explanation, like the whole Keto family, right? Keto, the whole Keto family are really just normal people, uh, in some sort of a organized crime kind of sense, and they're afraid of the Chamber of Commerce because they're gonna slap them with fines or whatever, or even get them to jail. And they somehow got tied into this cult, right? Like they're not the main perpetrators here, but rather a victim that perpetuates the whatever happened to them, right? I have a feeling that they're this sort of a middleman. I don't know how to put it into words best. Uh, hmm. Let's see. Keto family got brainwashed? Question mark. And they're criminals afraid the Chamber of Commerce will slap them with fines, right? Like, I feel some sort of a mundane conclusion to whatever crazy shit is happening here. That's the vibe I'm getting, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Like, this is the legend of the giant snake, right? That house has soaked up too much human blood. Yeah, it's all the sacrifices. For a moment, I thought that maybe the issue is that it's been like a site of many murders or something. There is a whole catacomb underneath where the Keto family puts their enemies to death and buries them or something along those lines. But apparently, human sacrifice is what we're dealing with here. Yeah, that ain't Momo, unfortunately. Yeah, the opening is not done by the same animation studio that the ending is. So I was mistaken there. But I wanna go through it. Yeah, Momo can Momo. But we see a new character somewhere here. Jean? Yeah, this dude. He appeared briefly in season 1 opening or ending, or I'm conflating what I've seen online with like manga screenshots and such, and it made me believe that he appeared in somewhere in season 1 as well, but maybe not. I don't know. Cool opening in any case. Those are new characters. Yeah, nobody that we would know. There we go. A bunch of old ladies who we don't know whether they're supernatural or not. I mean, her eyes are not glowing yellow. And then, at the mention of the spirit medium, they all start cracking the cans, opening their eyes, and their eyes do glow yellow. Uh, her eyes never do, though. Hmm. I think there is both mundanity and paranormal going on here. Like, on the mundane side, they are just some sort of an organized crime family, right? That has the police in their pocket, that has everybody else in their pocket. They run this town. They are the sole and only, like, rulers of it. And the Chamber of Commerce is the danger that they are facing because they're not paying their taxes or something like that, right? That's the mundane side. But the glowing eyes and somewhat superhuman strength of them makes me think that maybe not necessarily the Mongolian death worm, because it's an UMA, according to Ken at least, and not a yokai. So chances are it's not powering them up in any way, but there's something supernatural, something paranormal going on for sure. I wonder if the death worm, if the snake, is actually a bit of a red herring. That could be it. That could be it. Like, there's that whole buried building, which probably some sort of a shrine or something, and there is something supernatural there, and the Mongolian deathworm just happens to be there as well. Maybe. Mongolian deathworm is a red herring. Then again, we see it glowing yellow. Its tentacles glowing yellow, and their eyes are glowing yellow. So maybe it is an UMA, but it has some sort of a mind control, mind enhancing, something like that powers. Also, it was one of the very earliest theories when it comes to DANDADAN season 1 that I noted it down. I'm not going to look for it, but I'm 100% sure I made that prediction. That aliens and yokai are really just kind of the same thing. They just manifest differently. And I wonder if that might be coming into play here. Like, the Deathworm is classified as an UMA, but it has yokai powers, and it's kind of both, kind of neither, right? I have a feeling that might be it. Shrine to the Tsuchinoko. And the dude who wants to become a bootuber. And this, I guess, vaguely looks like a snake's shed skin. It would be one weird snake. They don't usually come in purple. The region worshipped a giant snake, believed that when the giant snake living in the volcano gets hungry, the volcano erupts. Offered one child from the village as sacrifice, and by doing so, for the past 200 years, it has kept the volcano from erupting. What's that saying? Co something doesn't imply causation. Coincidence doesn't imply causation, something like that. Basically, the fact that the volcano hasn't erupted for the past 200 years, and as they were making child sacrifices, doesn't mean that it's the child sacrifices that are keeping the volcano from erupting. So even granted the blessing of hot springs. Yeah, hot springs coming from the volcano, from the volcanic, you know, uh, working volcanic heat. Maybe that's why the volcano hasn't erupted, because it found an outlet in the hot springs. Entirely plausible. Giant snake skin. Yeah, it ain't that big. It really ain't that big. By enshrining the giant snake skin, is preventing the volcano from erupting. Unbeknownst to him, there are people doing human sacrifices. So it's either not the skin doing that, or it's not the sacrifices doing that, or it's neither that's doing that. People come to visit. Yeah, just share that story on BooTube, and you're gonna get some views. Some nice combat moves. She's strong, and that is even without using her telekinesis, right? Like, that's just a regular kick. Unless she's like, not unknowingly, but like subconsciously using her powers to enhance her strength, which is entirely plausible. Wouldn't surprise me at all. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and here's Granny, and her eyes are glowing yellow now. Yeah, I think they are just regular, normal people, not supernatural in any way, but they are being enhanced by something, some entity, some paranormal entity, and that's when their eyes glow. Keto family is normal people, but some paranormal entity enhances them, sometimes in a parenthesis yellow eyes. Kinda like Ken being normal, but then sometimes he's being enhanced by Turbo Baba, right? Or Momo. Yeah, Momo Aya. No, wait, Aira. Yeah, Aira. Aira, who is sometimes being enhanced by Silky, right? Maybe something like that, but there is just a single entity who is enhancing them all, and that's why they don't necessarily change their form, they just get strength. Maybe something like that going on. Jennifer Lopez Anaconda. First we got random fucking Chiquita, now we get random Jennifer Lopez Anaconda, sure. Sure, why not? She was using some sort of strange power. She's just a powerful old hag, according to Turbo Baba. Which is interesting because it goes like opposed to my theory that they are being enhanced somehow. But also, mm, what was it? Can't remember. Uh, there was a situation in season one where Turbo Granny disregarded something completely as supernatural because it was so weak that she didn't even like deem it worthy of her attention. So maybe there's something like that going on here, right? Like they are being enhanced enough to pose a threat, but in the eyes of Turbo Granny, it's just like barely a blip on the radar, so it's not even worth mentioning. Maybe. I don't know. You get one in your own house. I mean, yeah, hard to disagree with that. Uh, I wonder if there's a connection between the whatchamacallit, the shrine guy and this family. The shrine guy also had a like a beginning of a unibrow, so something like that. Maybe he's also part of the family. Wouldn't surprise me. He wasn't Ashen though. Uh, Shrine guy belongs to Keto family. Doesn't seem to be a spirit medium. Festival. And again, I can't get it out of my mind that it could be something completely mundane again. Like, it's just a festival. There's nothing like supernatural about it. There's nothing necessarily nefarious about it. It's just a festival they're talking about. Maybe they don't even want to make human sacrifice. I mean, they do. Pretty clearly they do, but I know. Turbo Granny is looking around a lot. I thought that she might notice something, but she hasn't? Not really? If we, the Keto family, didn't manage this land, this village would be buried in magma by now. Uh, I wonder if they were particularly susceptible to manipulation because of this sort of illusion of grandeur, right? Like, we are the most important because thanks to us, this village would be buried in magma by now, and it's just kind of compounding, and they are easier to manipulate by whatever entity manipulates them. I don't know. There's places where the original altar was, human sacrifices were made, and they just kept updating it. Yeah. Exactly 3 people. Now that is interesting because the story that the shrine guy told us about is that the villagers used to sacrifice a single child, and now they bumped it up to 3 people. They're just doing sacrifices for the love of the game, aren't they? Hmm. Quicksand. Yeah, everybody's giving in. Everyone's invited to the party. This looks like an old shrine of some sort. I wonder if there is something to that volcanic activity. Like, because of the volcano, part of the village got swallowed by the earth and it's now underground. And those are not old buildings. That's an AC unit right here. Those are not like, medieval era wooden shacks. No. That's like a fairly recent building. Oh, mm, they keep going through the years, the building changing. Is it the whole building that gets sucked underground and that's how they perform the sacrifice? Instead of putting the people on the altar or whatever, they just swallow the entire building. Could be. Could actually be the case. They really like losing clothes in this show, don't they? Yeah, there's that yellow glow. There is that unmistakable yellow glow that's reflected in their eyes. Kuragari. Let me look it up right quick. Kuragari. Kuragari Village, Kuragari Pass in Atlas Obscura, Kuragari Pass, Japan's steepest road, Kuragari Tsugikuni, Kimetsu no Yaiba Fanon Wiki, Kuragari in Wiktionary. Oh, thank you. That it's a romanization, like Romaji transcription of moon runes. The moon runes translate to darkness or figuratively secrecy. So I didn't really learn much. Okay. Mongolian deathworm looks similar-ish. And that was perfectly predictable that they're just gonna get eaten. And good riddance. Although from what we've seen in the preview, they weren't really eaten, like they're still alive, so we'll see how that goes. Yeah, the yellow light. Yellow light and Mongolian throat singing. Hmm. Another difference. Jean is in the shadow. Ken and Momo are in the yellow light. I wonder if it's the light doing that. Although Ken just left the light and didn't change back, so who's to say? Although maybe he will at the last moment, and it's a bit of a cliffhanger. It's for sure the worm doing that. And also interesting that there is that yellow glow in his glasses. Like, sure, there's gonna be yellow glow in his glasses because the whole thing is basked in yellow, but it also kind of draws a parallel to the eyes of the villagers turning yellow, right? Kind of, sorta, kind of hinting at the fact that they are both controlled by the same thing. Also, curiously, his form is different. Like, he did turn into Turbo Granny, the hair and everything, not in his like hybrid form, right? His hairstyle is completely different. He doesn't have the mouth guard. His eyes look different. Everything is different about him. Curious. I really like this opening. I like the style. I like Seiko. I especially like all those shots that are from below. Like this one. They are really, really fun here. This is such a fun ending. Yeah, I like it. I enjoy it very much. Haven't we seen some thing with vertical eyes like that already? I recognize it from somewhere. I just don't know whether I recognize it from season 1. I have a distinct feeling that I do, or whether I recognize it just through osmosis, just through, the virtue of not being able to avoid seeing things from the series that weren't put on screen yet. I don't know, could be either, but I certainly recognize those like rotated eyes. That which is born from evil conventions, its name is the Evil Eye. Yeah. Episode 14, The Evil Eye. Okay, so the official numbering is 13, 14, so that's how I'm gonna number them as well. We'll see where that goes. Great. I disconnected the cable. But before we do that, full screen, please. There we go. Dun 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 dun. Second season. Window capture. There we go. Yeah, let's take a brief look. Right, pre-screened in advance in theaters. I heard something about the DANDADAN movie. I was worried that I missed that movie, right? That they did a movie first and I missed that, and now I'm gonna be out of order. But no, thankfully not. 12 episodes, yeah, everything standard. Science Saru. What was that other studio mentioned at the beginning? It's not mentioned anywhere here, so that's interesting. Ah well. Nothing changed, I don't think. Voice actors are the same. I wanna check Manjiro's voice actor, and that is Hiroyuki Yoshino, and voicing Brief from PSG, voicing Kaiju Kyugo from Kaiju Hachigo, voicing Shun from Sentai Daishikaku, Ethan, and Frankie. Yeah, I was correct that it is indeed him. Let's check out the new characters. Naki Kito, voiced by Masako Isobe. Chiquitita and Penny Chinkotsu, they were in the previous episodes, so we're not gonna be checking them out. I guess different character, Jin, and this is Joshi. They look similar though. The parts of their hair. Is this gonna be a Jin's supernatural form, but it has a different name? I know. Voiced by a female Seiyu though, which is interesting. Let's see her. Okay, Masaka Isobe voicing Naki Kito also voiced a bunch of old ladies that I don't necessarily recognize. And we have Mutsumi Tamura voice Kobayashi. Really? Okay, the voice of Kobayashi from Kobayashi-san no Maid Dragon. All right then. I'm looking forward to that. Also looking forward to the to Kobayashi Senshi no Maid Dragon movie, because that is coming when? Let's see, June 27th. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be a very fun arc. And the rest of the family. Let's check them out as well, and those people, Shokokai no Otoko A and B. Shinichi Maki voicing Jumanuel Kito, and also the voice of whoever that is. Also voicing Meikyu, whoever really, from Dungeon Meshi, accessory merchant from Tate no Yusha. Season 4, by the way, of Tate no Yusha. And a bunch of extras, essentially. Shiro Saito voicing Jiichi Kito, and also voicing Jabi from Sabiko Ibisco. And that's about the only character I recognize here. Someone from Kingdom. Yep. Yuki Tamai voicing Jugemu Kito. Oji-chan from Sakamoto Days. Also, bunch of extras. Michitake Kikichi voicing Juhiko Kito, and also voicing someone in Ubelblatt. Also voicing nobody else I would know. Isuke Sasaki voicing Juria Kito. Also a bunch of other people. Keisuke Misaizu voicing the police officer, and not much more. Kosuke Kobayashi voicing someone Beam, and a bunch of extras as well. And finally Kenichi Mina voicing whoever, and voicing a bunch of other whoever's. Okay, that's as far as the characters go. Staff, did anything change here? Director. I'm curious about the opening and ending in particular, so let's focus on that maybe. Clothing, producer, character design, theme, song, lyrics, and composition. And at the end. Key animation for the OP. Theme song arrangement for the ED. Key animation for the OP. Something more about the ED, please, if I may. Something more about the ED? Anybody? Anybody at all? Wurz theme song performance and composition and arrangement and lyrics for the ED. I think that's gonna be enough. Fugayama Shiro, director, also directed Dandadan Season 1, Devilman Crybaby, Heike Monogatari, and a bunch of other shows as well. Abel Gongora, Spanish guy, which is interesting that he got hired as a director on a Japanese anime. Okay, he started in Irish animation studio. Interesting. He's a head of Science Status Digital Animation Department. Interesting. He is a director here. Also did a bunch of stuff except directing. Well, he directed the opening for Dandadan Season 1. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off. Aizoken, Devilman Crybaby. Okay, not a bad portfolio. Short it might be. Aina the End. Dandadan Season 2. Also Kusirina Hitori Goto. Also some Gundam. And Witch from Mercury, second season ED. Takumi Ishikawa, key animation for the opening here. And also some key animation roles in Jujutsu Kaisen, Spy Family, Boku no Hero Academia, Likoreko, Spy Family, Shingeki no Kyojin, Mushoku Tensei. Mark Kenta Corcoran, key animation on the opening, key animation episode 1 of Dandadan season 1, key animation on an episode of Frieren, SAO, Kaguya-sama, a bunch of other shows, Shingo Kubota, theme song arrangement for the ED, as well as not much more that I would recognize. Sota Yamazaki, key animation for the OP, also for the OP of season 1. Also going to be working on Chainsaw Man Rezehen as sub-character designer. Worked on Chainsaw Man, animation director for opening and some episodes. Jujutsu Kaisen, Blue Archive, the animation, key animation for the ending. Umamusu. By the way, Umamusu and Blue Archive are both on Steam now. So if you want to play without emulators or anything, you can do that. And Wurz. Theme song ED for Dandadan, and not much more that I would recognize, and not that much more known about him. Curiously enough, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Alright. Good old 1 hour episode. Future videos should be a little bit shorter because we're not going to be going through the stuff or anything like that, and hopefully the intros are going to be shorter as well. But right now, I think that's going to be it from me. I really enjoyed this episode. I really enjoyed going back to Dandadan, and I'm like, I mean, you can tell I'm immediately interested, I'm immediately intrigued, and I cannot wait for more. I need my answers. I need the things that I think are gonna happen, and I also need the things that go the contrary of what I think is gonna happen, because that's also very fun to have in a show where it goes completely in a completely different direction than you think it's gonna go, as long as that direction makes sense, of course, because it not always does, and then it's not fun. When it does make sense, though, it's fun, and I have no doubt that Dandadan is gonna go in that direction. It's gonna surprise us, but in very, very positive ways. But that's gonna be it from me about this episode. But now you guys, you tell me, what did you think of this episode, of my reaction, my theories, stuff like that? Say all of that in the comments down below, or on my Discord if you want. You can join it. It's free, open to everybody. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to be notified of future videos, not only Dandadan but other shows coming in the future. Click the bell to be notified of when I go live, because I do sometimes. Support the channel if you want monetarily on Patreon or YouTube, down below in the description. and or not share my content, spread the word. That costs you absolutely nothing and still helps the channel an awful lot, and helping the channel is important after a break like that, because I have a feeling YouTube kind of ranked me down in the algorithm. But we'll see where that goes, of course, in the future. Right now, that's gonna be it from me for today. So as always, you guys do all the good stuff, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. Cheers! And here's my one through Patreons: Cubies, Rainer, Dr. Watt, Akamancer, Fassel, and Hans Peter. And you can join them if you want. With fuck, how did my outro go?